All steamed up and ready to go, she gets the ore clear and heads out onto the track. The absence of a driver and the scale rolling stock gives a very realistic appearance. Brian Day's model of a Canefields locomotive is powered by an internal combustion engine. Open days at Galston Valley are always busy, with plenty of variety in rolling stock, and it's thirsty work for this tiny French Decauville as driver Brian Carter pulls in for a filler. Barry Girds on this British River-class loco demonstrates how to take on water when on the move. Ed Curry's Speedy, back-to-back with an old Frontier locomotive being tuned up for a run, while Jerry Bailey drives by in his small Simplex. Of course, on an open day, not only the locomotives need replenishment, and here the makeshift canteen dispenses tea and coffee to thirsty visitors. Members' wives run the stall, and one also made the birthday cake. Footbridge access to the station means safety for the passengers, and many of them will ride behind Alf Ross and his C-38.
What's any good?
There's no doubt these are satisfied customers. This is a fine example of a streamlined C-38 brought along by a visiting modeller. Makes a great sight as she steams through the cuttings and gets up to speed on the straight. Another visitor brought along a freelance steamroller. With the busy traffic on public days, safety is important, and Galston Valley runs on standard railway signalling practice. Tony Coles takes up the story.
The station area only. The points, the hilltop, they're controlled strictly by driver, so that if he decides to go to hilltop, we'll in a loop come back to the station. We have a platform in key that controls 1 and 2 platform inward, so that you don't get trains jammed. We have another key at the other end to let trains out, 1 and 2 onto the main line. We have another switch here to get trains onto the relief line, to get them down to the engine or the carriage shed to get their carriages out.
change the points to give them different circuits, do you?
Right, now I've got red one on number 2 platform.
Right.
So we'll put that back to number 1. The next train that comes in will go on the number 1 platform. So we've got a train either side.
And on the green signal, the Stirling single of the Great Northern Railway, 1870 vintage, steams away with maker Ian Herline at the controls. Another visitor from the late Macquarie Club, a USA prototype. And here we get behind the club's 70 class diesel hydraulic. Jupiter is another visiting loco, complete with valve gear just like the original. Of course, no track is complete without the Thomas the Tank Engine, Arthur Jones's second locomotive. The C-36 is a very popular subject among modelers. Greg Holly's Simplex tank loco, named Echidna, all spick and span, takes off for the first run of the day. Trains leave at regular intervals and the queue on the bridge never seems to be getting shorter. But everybody is patient and everybody gets a ride, even if it means Jerry Bailey and Malcolm Labasse double-heading to deal with the load. This is John Knights on his Great Western pannier tank with a rake of scale rolling stock. A very smart turnout. One of the most important jobs in the club is the inspection of boilers and the issue of test certificates. A boiler has to withstand 200 pounds per inch for 20 minutes without leaking. Brian Day, one of the Society's 5 boiler inspectors, is here performing a hydraulic test on a new boiler and at the same time calibrating a miniature gauge with the test gauge.
And we'll hold that at 100 and check the other gauge to see how good it is. What is it reading there now?
Yep, right on.
Right on 100, is it?
Yep.
It is too. Okay, spot on. And not often they're as accurate as that. So we will now red mark that dial at 100. Okay, we've already pressure tested it for 20 minutes. There are no leaks. It's fine.
The boiler passes with flying colours. This visiting Blue Mountain and Western Express should bring back a few memories as the driver gets ready for the next trip.
Oh no, it's going straight down to the back.
Lake Macquarie Club, Joe Huntley, with his unpainted but superbly detailed C-36. Back at the steaming bay, another C-38 waits his turn. In the display area, a variety of stationary engines gives visitors plenty to talk about. Don Payne describes the development of steam power right through the Industrial Revolution with the models on display. Beam, horizontal, half beam, vertical. They're all here and all working.
Started the Industrial Revolution.
Linda is the name of this Decauville narrow gauge loco used in the silver beet fields of France. It's built to 7 1/4 inch gauge and so can't run on the Galston track, which can only take 5 inch and 3 1/2 inch rolling stock. The exceptional detail and workmanship have won many awards for its maker, Bob Rottenbury. A name familiar to railway buffs all over the world. This is another model by Bob Rottenbury and boasts all the detail of the original, right up to exhibition standard.
Weight 700 weight. It took about approximately 5 years to build.
Again, this is a 7 1/4 inch gauge. It can't run here at Galston. Perhaps one day. But the day wears on. The crowd begins to disperse. Tired drivers make ready for the homeward journey. Thankfully, the Traverser makes light work of loading back onto the road transport. Even 19th birthdays have to come to an end and blowdown begins.